Hi, I'm going to jump on in just a second. I just want to check one thing. Okay, I'm about to get started in just 1 second, guys. Okay, all right. So, hi, I'm Cassie Reeder, and I wanted to go ahead and let me actually start my timer because there is someone after me at 10, and I do not want to run over. Let's see, there we go. So this month on Past the Scope, we are talking about, or hashtag is made for this, and I've had a lot of thoughts on this in the past couple of days as I've been preparing for kind of what I wanted to talk about. So it might be a little all over the place, but that's normally how my Periscopes go. So, you know, we'll just go with it. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about is when I think about the hashtag made for this and the graphic that I made and shared out, there's a runner, and the inspiration or idea from that came from Valerie Lewis, because I kind of asked her for her interpretation on what she means by made for this, because really that hashtag can be interpreted in many ways, as you'll see today during our different Periscopes. But to me, what I really first of all thought about when she was talking about made for this was like finishing strong till the end of the school year. And I think that really resonated with me because as teachers, I taught for 5 years, and my last year of teaching was 2 years ago. And as a teacher that year, it was actually really hard for me because I knew that I would be, you know, finishing up my school year, but I wanted to finish that school year strong. And that's kind of where I'm going with this. So I think it's important for educators to finish their school year strong and not to, you know, okay, testing is over and I've done everything and there's 2 weeks of school left, and what kind of random things can I find for my kids to do, you know, to keep them busy. I mean, let's be honest, that's kind of the mindset of teachers at this point in time, because they've put in a lot of work and it's been, you know, ups and downs and testing and this and that and everything. And now you're like, you finally see the light at the end of the tunnel and you're like, okay, we're just going to make it through day by day. But one of the things that I did my last year was I actually had some really cool projects that my kids and I did the last 2 or 3 weeks of school once our state testing was over. And honestly, that was amazing because I got to be creative and like push myself as an educator to come up with some different projects and integration of technology tools that they never used before. And it also gave them time to kind of explore and give me time to clean up and do, you know, the things that you do at the end of the year. But it wasn't just like busy work. It was them still learning, still exploring, still finding new, you know, discoveries every day. And it was a really cool thing. So I actually am going to be posting a blog, and I'll share it on my Twitter page later today. But yesterday I was doing some research and I found some really cool apps that were shared in the Google Teacher Tribe podcast for like end of school year things. So I'm going to make a blog with some of those things compiled and some different resources that I found that you can look at to kind of get some ideas for end of school year, you know, activities or projects that you can give your kids that are fun and engaging, and, you know, they're still learning through that time. Because really, I think there are two different mindsets. Like some people teach till the last day, which is awesome, more power to them. And then, like I said, other teachers are the opposite, and they're like, okay, I'm kind of done. But there should be a good, even balance of the two. So kids still learning and growing, but also having a good time and having fun. So remember to finish strong, you know, as the school year ends. And as Valerie said, you know, you are made for this. You are an educator for a reason. You're passionate. You have, you know, hopes and dreams for your kiddos, and this is what you were meant to do. So don't give that passion and desire and excitement up at the end of the year, because they can tell, they can smell it on you, and they will, push it till the end. So keep inspiring and motivating till the last day, because you never know what kind of impact you're having. And if you just kind of give up at the end, give up is not a good word, but if you kind of slow things down a little bit, you never know what kind of effect it's going to have on those kids. And actually, one more thing on that note, for me, I taught kids that were, oh my goodness, this is going very fast. I taught kids that were, they didn't have a lot of structure and support at home. So for behavior purposes, actually, to provide them with that structure and support and, those routines until the last day of school was really important for them. So for you as a teacher, or for me, I was like, okay, we're going to clean up, blah, 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 and just finding random projects for them to do. But some of them really still needed like work and the routines and the structures that we had set up and went through, all year. They still needed that. So that's something to also consider, when you're working with kids, is don't just throw the routine at the end of the year, because it could really impact them. And then their behaviors will, show in that as well. So think about that as well, because that was something that I learned the hard way. But it was a good experience and a good thing to learn. Okay, and then the other part of this that I wanted to kind of talk about was, made for this to me, in my current and future roles is kind of like, just, it revolves around my passion and education and where I'm going in the future. So I mean, not everybody knows this yet, but basically, so I'm going to start, my own independent consulting in June, and I'm really excited about the opportunity. It's very scary, and I've been reaching out to a lot of people for help and support and things like that. Definitely need those people to help me and support me as I start this journey and as I continue on through it, because it's definitely a learning process. But to me, what I keep going back and focusing on is that I was made for this, and that I got here for a reason, and that this is what I want to do. This is what I've always wanted to do. And even though it's scary and sometimes I have no idea what I'm doing or why I'm taking this on, I have to remind myself that I was made for this, and there's a reason for me to be here, and I have to keep that positivity in mind. And that's actually not only with my career right now, but with different projects that I'm in. Sometimes they get to be a little overwhelming and a little difficult, just taking my time. But when I go back and think about, why am I doing this? What is the why behind me participating in these groups and activities and, training and sharing at conferences? Why am I doing this? And that's what gets me excited and amped up again, because this is what I want to do. This is my passion, and I can't let that fear creep in and, take over, because that'll happen. So, if you're in a spot where you're feeling like you're overwhelmed and there's just a lot of things going on and you're like, I can't do this anymore, think about the why as to why you're doing it. And really, like, if you just write it down, and just look over that whenever you get that feeling, like, remember, like I said, you're made for this. This is why you're here. This is your purpose, and this is, your passion. So think about that and use that to drive you and get you through those tough times. That's two completely different sides of the game here, but I think that they are relevant points for different people and the different places where they are. So that's my made for this podcast. Just kidding. My made for this Periscope. Still waking up this morning. And I'm really excited about all the other Periscopes that will be coming today, and I hope you guys will join on. The next person is the Upstander brand. They will be podcasting, Periscoping at 10, so 10 my time, so in about 3 or 4 minutes, and they are at Upstander brand. So if you just follow them on Periscope and Twitter, but you can also just continue to follow the hashtag #CastTheScopeEDU and hashtag made for this. And they also have a hashtag as well, which is hashtag kids to park and hashtag kids or kind kids are cool. Oh, that's fun. So hashtag kids to park and hashtag kind kids are cool. They will be periscoping in about 2 minutes. So thank you guys for jumping on. Thank you for watching. And if you feel like you're in the place that I mentioned earlier and you need any support, or you have, you know, you just want to chat about it, like, I'm here to support, to help, to provide whatever I can. So just reach out to me. I'm at reader_Cassie. Feel free to message me. And like I said, I'm going to hopefully get that blog out. This is pushing me to do that, so that's good. I'm going to get that blog out with some end-of-year fun activities or resources that you can use, you know, to get through that hump at the end of the school year. So hopefully that'll be coming out soon. So thank you guys, and I hope you have a great day, and don't forget to watch the other Periscopes as they broadcast today. So have a good one.